Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show, episode 353. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Connor Farley. What's up, Connor?
Hello.
What's up, James?
Alonzi.
All right, James. So, this news came out today. It's been going like fast and furious here with the Spider-Man situation. I wasn't going to do a podcast tonight, and I was going to really take a step back and relax. And then I saw this news about Marvel has announced that it's time for Peter Parker to hang up the webs and just give it to Miles Morales, and he's going to be Spider-Man, and then Peter Parker's just going to be chilling in the background. And Marvel's like making this big thing about it, and I immediately commented that this was bullshit because I'm furious, and I'm not alone. Okay.
Why would they do that?
I'm not alone. It turns out that Stan Lee had spoken out saying that because everybody's making this big deal about Marvel because they said that Peter Parker could never be black or anything else, that he has to be white and everything. And my whole thing is, what is wrong with that? Okay?
I'm looking at it like this. I'm looking like this. Don't they got a Bat family?
Yeah.
How come they can't have a Spider family then? I mean, what's the problem?
Well, they do. I mean, they have Spider-Gwen. They have, Venom. They have all these Kane and all these different things going on.
Yeah, they could.
So,
I mean, as young as Miles Morales is, why not name him Spider-Boy?
Right. Why couldn't they? Who has the rights to that? Does Marvel not have the rights to that, maybe?
I mean, that'd be like, why would you want to change Peter Parker been Spider-Man, what, 50 years?
Since 1963, basically.
Yeah, that dang long.
Right.
So why in the world they want to change it now? I mean, that's dumb.
I mean, they already changed it because Doc Ock was Spider-Man for a little while.
Superior, yeah.
So now we just got him back. So what the hell is that?
Marvel just wanted to destroy the entire thing.
Well, Stan Lee just said that, Spider-Man, Peter Parker's Spider-Man is never going to be anything other than what he created him for.
Exactly.
Like, there's some characters that they change race and they change this, but not Peter Parker, he said. And there's nothing wrong with that statement.
No.
Okay, you could have Miles Morales, who's what? Spanish and African American?
Yeah.
So what's wrong with that? Like, why can't he just be something else? Like, Spider-Gwen is Spider-Woman or whatever. I mean, why, what's the problem?
I mean, he could be Spider-Boy, Spider-Lad, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Spider-Lad. I mean, they did Iron Lad or whatever, and they did other things.
I mean, Marvel just, I don't know. Ever since the success of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they just think they can do whatever, apparently.
The comics are screwed up.
Yep.
Tony Stark is adopted. That's bullshit in itself.
Wow. Well, Marvel just, they just don't.
Doctor Strange has an axe. That's retarded.
Wow. They just don't dang jump the shark on this one.
Thor is Jane Foster, who has cancer. When did she ever have cancer? Because I don't remember reading that she had cancer. Nope. And the magics are making her accelerating her dying. I don't understand what that's about. Hi, Gloria.
They're trying to destroy the universe. They just destroying the universe.
And it seems to me like all the guys that are these heroes, they're throwing them in the garbage. Like Bruce Banner, the Hulk, man, we don't need him. We'll get this Asian guy, which is like, what's that about?
And how did he become the Hulk? Was he in some kind of a gamma ray explosion or something? And
does he have the same thing like the Hulk? Because I thought that was only unique to him, where he was like two people or something.
Yeah.
That's I understand it worked with Nick Fury, okay, for the Ultimate line, but then they explained that away that he had a son.
Yeah.
But still, like
Nick Fury Jr.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Hey, Gloria. Marvel just, I don't know. Marvel just, I'm glad I'm not a big Marvel fan, put that way.
You know what the problem is? They forced the Ultimate line down our throat. I don't want Miles Morales as Spider-Man.
Nope. And now you're getting a black Human Torch, so I don't understand that. I mean, they're just catering to all these different stuff.
I don't understand how the Invisible Woman is with Doctor Doom with her kids over Reed Richards. Like, I don't.
I'd be okay if he were another character.
Yeah.
Story. Because I'm all for diversity in cast and everything like that, but just not that character. Just not.
Exactly.
Remember when Odin created another hammer, and there was Thunderstrike,
Yeah.
and the guy was
for Beta
dying,
Ray Bill.
and he no, not Beta Ray Bill, Thunderstrike, Eric Masterson.
Okay.
It was like Thor's friend or something, and he
Yeah.
became like Thunderstrike, which he had his own hammer. It was different. Just like Beta Ray Bill had his own hammer, different hammers other than the main one.
Yeah.
You know, you could have did that with Lady Thor or Thor. You know, the female Thor. You didn't have to have his hammer do that. You didn't have to have Tony Stark be adopted. I mean, that makes no sense. He looks exactly like Howard Stark.
I
He's
know,
following
but
in his
he
footsteps.
adopted. That is crazy. That's Howard Stark's blood.
And Mrs. Marvel, I mean, she's you know, she has all the powers of Fantastic Four. So is that what you do? You said, oh, we don't need a Fantastic Four. We'll just give one person all their powers, and then that's fine.
That sounds like the Super
That's-
Scroll. That's a Super Scroll.
She's a Super Skrull. Yeah, that's what she basically.
Oh my God. They just going out all around the everything and just they convoluting everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got that cataclysm where where you got like the
I don't know how Doctor Doom's God of the world. I mean, I don't understand that at all.
wow. What he like the Beyonder or something now?
He's behind this. Well, he's saved everybody with Secret Wars, but he's the God now.
Oh,
And Doctor Strange
Dr.
serves
Doom.
him. And, yeah, Doctor Doom. Yeah.
Oh my Lord. Oh, really? A megalomaniac.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Hey, Connor, you were very quiet.
Yeah. I mean, I know Doctor Doom is capable of doing that, which is cool, but I don't see why would Invisible Woman just be with any guy? That's not what the Invisible Woman would be. She's married to Reed Richards. That's it.
Well, see what they did with Superman and Lois Lane. They've been together over 50 years and split them up. So
They changed the universe, and they were never married to begin with. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Same thing with Peter Parker and Mary Jane, and they split them up.
That's stupid. Like ruining the thing of marriage, even in fictional stories. It's like, why do that? Makes no sense.
Do they think this stuff will sell?
They're stupid if they think so.
What is it selling? I heard all comic books are down.
Yeah, exactly.
Way
So
down.
tell them. That should tell them that what they're doing is not working.
Is Ghost Rider driving a car sales up? Because I doubt that very much.
Now how is that Ghost Rider? Ghost Rider rides motorcycles. It's not Ghost Rider Auto. It's Ghost Rider.
See, they're playing off of the original Ghost Rider. The original Ghost Rider was from the West,
He rode
and he
it.
was riding a horse.
Yeah, he wasn't riding no car.
But he's still a rider. He's still riding the horse.
Yeah, but he still wasn't right. Like that's
Just
like
like
him
riding a
horse
motorcycle.
and buggy or something.
Yeah, when you have Ghost Driver, I mean that's just you're not riding a car. I mean you're like a speed racer or something. You're weird,
Yeah,
weird stuff.
Trying to be like that Nicolas Cage movie, Drive Angry, pretty much.
I mean I don't understand that at all.
Apparently they don't understand it because they the one doing it, and you suppose the people have invested all their time and money and enjoy reading the characters that they growed up with. When you start changing the stuff that made people want to read the books in the first place, it's like with these movies. When you start going from the source of the material, that's when you start having problems. If you stick with the material, you have a good movie, good comic. When they
And
start,
happy fans.
yeah.
Why would you have like Carnage, a mass murderer, be a hero?
Why would you do that?
Or Red Skull eating Professor X's brains and then becoming like Onslaught?
No, Lord, I mean it's crazy.
I don't even understand. I think these guys that are writing these books are like trying to be like, oh, if they had the power like as fans, oh, wouldn't it be great if Cyclops killed Professor X? No,
Really?
and they do that. They do that stuff.
And he was like what, Professor X first student, right?
And then Wolverine was like the headmaster of and they changed it. He made his own school for Jean Grey, for Jean Grey's gifted youngsters. And I'm like, what the F is that? Since when did Wolverine become Professor X
Never.
and Cyclops become Magneto?
Never.
And since when did the Phoenix Force ever go to Cyclops? It always went to Jean Grey. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just they don't convolute the entire Marvel universe. They blended in the Ultimate Universe with the 616 universe and something else.
I mean, the only thing that they didn't do was turn the Black Panther white.
What?
That's the only thing they didn't do. Is change the Black Panther white.
He'd be the White Panther then, not the Black.
But I'm saying they changed every other race, but they won't change black to white. That's weird.
Hey, well, you got to keep Luke Cage. You got to keep Luke Cage as a brother, man, because they can't pull that shit off with him being a white boy,
Yeah. What about Falcon? What about Falcon?
Going along with all the others. So, what's to stop them to do that?
You know, when they did stuff like back in the day, like 10 years ago, when they made like Doc Ock a woman, like a different Doc Octopus, Lady Octopus, nobody took to it. When they did it, a woman, a Scorpion, people couldn't give a shit.
Well, Blade's never been white, right? He's Marvel, but back in the comic. Okay, good. Yeah, keep him. He's
Blade is the black superheroes are staying black, but Nick Fury is like, well, Nick Fury. There's two Nick Furies. Nick Fury, but now Nick Fury's become, I don't know what the hell he's become, and Nick Fury Jr. is black.
Yeah. Look like Samuel Jackson.
Like, I guess the original Nick Fury is like a Watcher type now, right? Like magical and weird shit, which has nothing to do with the Howling Commandos of fighting World War II and the Super Soldier Serum and all that shit.
Marvel, I mean, if you read Marvel, you get a headache, cause you don't know what's going on.
I bet isn't you said that you talked to old Doc? I mean, he's got to be vomiting over this crap.
He's throwing up. I mean, he said to me, because I asked him, he knows more about comics than me and everything, and I asked him about Iceman, and he's got every comic. He's like, I'm telling you right now, there's no way Bobby Drake is gay. There's no way. He has tons of girlfriends. When he first became an X-Man, he was like 13 years old, so he didn't like girls, because what 13-year-old likes girls? Like that age. That's, you know what I'm saying? In the 60s, it's like a 13-year-old like, ew, get away from me. That doesn't mean you're gay. These people in this time period are retarded because they're using this mentality from this time to try to make it like the 60s, which you can't do that. We didn't have cell phones in the 60s. You didn't have that stuff.
Well, what it is, in this modern time, we got like men going into transition, like Bruce Jenner, from Bruce to Caitlyn, and they trying to mix in all that crap. You know, they can't do that.
No, but the thing is, they could make more African-American superheroes.
Oh, yeah,
they just don't. But they just don't.
Characters, yeah.
Why don't they? Why don't they make more African-American heroes? That's what people should be at Marvel on.
Because they're not smart enough.
Yeah, that's what they should be on Marvel for. Where are the African-American heroes? Instead of switching gender and nationality on and throwing our heroes in the garbage, because that's basically what they did. They threw Bruce Banner in the garbage. Now we're gonna have an Asian Hulk.
Especially you've been like 40 years, Spider-Man 50 years.
Yeah, they make a stupid announcement today. It's time for Peter Parker to hang up the webs. Why don't you go F yourself?
Why? Oh, is it time for Superman to hang up the cape?
Well, he doesn't have the cape anymore, and he can't fly anymore, and he doesn't have any powers. But Batman's going to be like a god, so you explain that one.
Boy.
This is the dark age of comics. They had the Silver Age, the Golden Age. This is the dark age of comics, where comics will be done in like 3 years, 4 years time.
Well, it's tough. The competition is stiff. I mean, like a lot of kids now, they're playing the video game. They're just using the comics to base these characters off of for these games. But I mean, as far as like the format itself is dying, from what I understand.
And they're trying to do everything to save it. I mean, they're like, oh, Marvel Zombies is cool. Later, James.
See you, James. Take care, man.
Marvel Zombies, which is cool. People like that universe. They have Marvel Zombies versus Age of Ultron. Like, how does that make any sense? You know? Hold on. I'll send James out. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so let me write
all I know is fuck Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Sick Spider-Man.
Oh my god. I don't know.
You mentioned Bruce Banner. What's going on with him?
He's not even going to be the Hulk. It's going to be some Asian guy.
So they're going to cure Bruce Banner, and they're going to...
I don't know. I mean, he's not going to be the Hulk.
I hear they were going to have Hunter D be the Hulk, but they heard he was too big a pussy that he couldn't play.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. That's crazy.
They heard he plays with his hands too much, though.
We had a good time last night on the show.
Yeah.
And it's like it's amazing how you can have 63 dislikes, but only 44
views.
It
was great, man. That was entertainment. It's already up to like 200 views. That's really an honor. Connor and I wanted to tell everyone that it's such an honor that people think so much of us, that they were so happy to see us come back, that they just like gave us glowing reviews, and they had such great things to say. And we
87 comments. And I just did it just to see what would happen if I put the comments back and make it public, and immediately the thing's flooded with nonsense. It's just like, wow.
Well, you do have the mentally deranged that that this is so important to them that they got to comment.
You know what it kills me? Why can't we just come on here and first of all, why can't we just talk about what we want to talk about as friends? I mean, it's stupid half the stuff that goes on in this community. I mean, why can't we just? Why is everybody so against me getting a whole group of people together and just talking about what we want to talk about?
You got to treat it like a joke, because that's clearly what their lives are, so it's pretty funny.
I mean, everybody should do everybody's podcast. I did the Every Who show today, and I had fun on it. I'm not above just doing
I want to go on there. Can you talk to them? I want them to invite me on. I want to be a guest.
It was fun.
My buddy Cam's over there and stuff. I need to talk.
I got to relax. I got to just be funny. It's fun. Like, get going on somebody else's show and just being chilling. I like that. I'm gonna do more. If they want me back, I'll do more. But I had fun, man, and I appreciate them for inviting me. It was an honor, and I had a great time. And it's a cool show.
Is this an everything show?
Right now we're in the everything show, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I missed the beginning of it. I didn't want to be talking about something off topic if we were Doctor Who.
No, we were talking about comic. I know you're not like crazy with comics and stuff, so I was talking.
I was actually quite for a long time. I don't know like how far into detail we got with that, but I used to be big with. I used to collect like the Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko, like the Silver Age Marvel comics, and Tales to Astonish with Ant-Man's first appearance at number 27, all that kind of stuff. I geeked out on all that stuff. That was really when people were buying like the variant covers of X-Men back in the early 90s. I was buying like these Silver Age Marvel like first appearances in these obscure titles like Tales of Suspense with Iron Man.
It's sad now though that to get sales, they kill Wolverine off. Well, they're mad at 20th Century Fox, so they killed Wolverine off. Right. But then they have a book called Wolverines, where you got like 10 different Wolverines running around with claws.
It seems like they're just desperately trying gimmicks. Like you said before, it's like a bunch of fanboys that are going, oh, hey, wouldn't it be cool to see a whole group of female stripper Wolverines or something?
Well, that's what they're going to have. They're going to have a female Wolverine when the Marvel Universe is. It's going to be the clone of Logan, which is a female version. So it's going to be Logan as a female, and it's going to be a female Wolverine. And this is the thing. It's like too much change is going to blow up in their face. They really don't see that. Like, you can't force a whole bunch of change on the entire universe at the same time from Marvel.
Well, we talked about this with Doctor Who before, where you can't drastically change your product that you're selling to your public too drastically, or they won't buy it anymore.
They're not. First of all, you have books called Wolverines. You have books called Thors. You have the Spider-Verse thing with all of them on. They have first of all, this whole thing with Secret Wars, right? This is the weird thing about it, right? You got the story in Secret Wars, right? Then you got all these other books that have nothing to do with anything. That's just they put a label of Secret Wars on it, and you don't even know what the F is going on, because the whole universe has changed for every book. So they say, hey, this is an opportunity for us to redo Civil War with Secret Wars. This is an opportunity for us to redo the Hulk's storyline from Future Imperfect. So they got the Maestro, they got this Hulk, they got this Hulk. So they're just labeling all these comics thinking that people will be interested. Oh my God, I can't wait to see freaking 50 Thors on the cover. That's boring. They all have the same powers. All these Hulks, that's boring. They all have the same powers. all the Spider-Man thing, that's boring. It's like, why are you having everything at the same time? And then why would you restart the Infinity Gauntlet as well? With a different story behind it. That's not the Infinity Gauntlet we read.
Well, fuck Marvel at this point.
And then a million arguments. So they have Armor Wars too, and they have like all these Tony Starks and all. So what are you doing? Like, I think that they did too much of a gimmick, and it's gonna blow up in their face.
Well, are you still tied into like comics to where it's gonna bother you?
No, because I can very easily cut ties with it.
Yeah, I mean, like, who gives a shit now? I mean, I like, this stuff. I mean, they're way past giving a shit about what people our generation or older.
The moment you have an issue from, say you collect Spider-Man from 1 to 500, right?
Yeah.
Or 1 to 600, right?
What are they up to?
Well, the history is not even there anymore. So it's
and see, that's what fucked up collecting, because
now I can very easily now.
Just because there's a time I went back to actually start buying X-Men again a while back, and I went into the comic shop. Like, I know the original run of Uncanny X-Men easily.
Uncanny X-Men, correct.
And I went in there, and they had, like, Amazing X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, and it was, like, Logan and the X-Men or something, or it was these weird
Uncanny Event.
And I'm like, well, I said, what took place at, like, what sequence do I read these in? And the guy was like, well, do this before that and that, and I'm like, this has become a headache where I don't even want to fucking read it now.
It's like the common cure, like mathematics or something that they adapt for like nutrition or whatever. No, but it's like, it's so weird. It's like they even altered the timeline, making it like Wolverine formed the X-Men instead of Professor X. I'm like, what's that crap? And I'm like, you know what? I can't take it. It's just garbage. I mean, so now you gave me an out as a fan saying, hey, you're not honoring my issues from 1 to 600 Spider-Man, so you just threw it in the garbage. So I could just leave because I don't know what the F's happening anyway. Like right now, they had, Spider-Man had, like what I said originally, that with great power comes with great responsibility, right? So if you're married to Mary Jane, you have a kid, and it's like, do you take care of your kid because Venom's coming after them, or do you save the Avengers? Well, you take care of your kid and you go against Venom. So that's what he did. He actually, when Venom said to him, I'm going to eat your daughter's brains, he killed Venom, basically. It was over in 2 minutes. And people are like, oh my God. In that case, yeah, he'll kill something for his kid. But then you see all the Avengers died. Because he just, now the supervillain.
At this point.
Well, they all died. Now the supervillain's running the world on this planet.
I hope they die too. Fuck them all. I mean, I don't want to, I wish comics would just disappear and they would become extinct, like typewriters and shit. Because
that's going to happen because they don't care anymore about what they're supposed to and not supposed to do. Because anything goes, so it's like, it's terrible.
I mean, the main target demographic for comic books are kids, anyways, and teens. You know, and I mean, you're speaking to somebody. I mean, into my 20s, I was reading comics still, but I'm turning 41 this year. It's been a while since I really was into comics anymore.
Right.
It's just like that demographic now. They're into like other formats of entertainment, like video games and shit like that, where they can interact, and it's a bit disappointing because I know like being a young man growing up and like comics were a good segue into developing a respect for literature, and a lot of times like kids wouldn't necessarily pick up a book unless it was like something that they had learned from reading comic books and learning how to respect literature and that particular platform where it had art, writing, all this stuff that we respected. But it's just gotten to where now it's become like it's just like things have moved on. It's just not.
Oh, it's beyond. It's unrecognizable because you have like the original X-Men who are in the current Marvel timeline, and all I see is just like, oh, I'm gonna stick my tongue down the Beast's throat, and have a relationship with the Beast as Jean Grey instead of the Cyclops, and I'm like, when did they turn Jean Grey into like a freaking
slut?
I mean, and then like, now she's a liar too because you're saying, oh yeah, you're gay. And he's like, I'm not gay. Like Iceman. I mean, this is just crap. That's not interesting comics. Where is like fighting the villains and having like a thing? This is like garbage. They're
gonna have Professor X wanting to pull the Caitlyn.
Professor X is dead. Professor X is killed by Cyclops. It's his star student, which made no sense whatsoever. So Iron Man is not Tony Stark. He's adopted, and the other one is a genetically engineered. Like, hello, like, what are we doing now? Why does Iron Man have like a symbiote?
Well,
Like
I mean,
Venom?
at this point, I mean, I guess we could talk about this, and I mean, I'm not trying to be insulting to anybody particularly, but hasn't, like, I mean, like, right now, who are reading comic books? Is it, like, mainly adults that just haven't really grown up or something, or what?
It's those sets of people that are not steady readers because they're looking for the wow factor. Like someone to go in the comic shop, oh my God, Marvel Zombies versus Age of Ultron. And then they'll buy the book, and then they'll leave, and then because first at the end of the day, the comic's like $5. So who the f is gonna when you could get a DLC pack or something, GameStop or whatever, or you could buy a game, you could put it towards like a game. Why would you spend $5 for a comic or $6 for a comic?
It seems like comic collecting peaked also in the '90s, and like now, like the availability. Because like when we were kids, you used to be able to go to like the 7-Eleven or the gas station, and they'd have a rack. And like now, you go to like Barnes and Noble is the only place like literally like where I'm at. Where, well, there is actually a comic shop that just opened called 99 Issues, but there's a place that Barnes and Noble where they have maybe 20 titles, and it's the popular stuff like Batman and Detective and X-Men and stuff like that. But there was an interview with Simon Pegg recently that our buddy John Hand turned me onto actually that I saw an interview with him, and he said something interesting about like that generationally now we've taken things that as children we read and like people have carried it into adulthood, and it's kind of like infantilized them, if that's such a word, and kind of relegated them to a point to where they haven't really grown up out of that childhood phase of like being involved with a lot of the shit that we should have grown out of, you know?
Right.
Like with these guys running around in pajamas, you know, fighting crime and shit, you know, when it comes to reading comic books and stuff. So I thought that was an interesting point to be made there. So not trying to offend anybody specifically, but I mean just throwing that out there. I tend to understand that.
And me saying that, you know, Peter Parker is white. I have thousands upon thousands of comic books in there. Okay, Stan Lee created Spider-Man, and he agrees with me. So what are you going to say? Stan Lee's racist too?
Well, Stan Lee is kind of like, you know, he's kind of like an old.
I don't care if he's 93. He's still not going to go against his principle. Spider-Man is white.
I know, but I mean, we are living in reality where it's like, you know, come on. I mean, Stan Lee, I'm sure is cool and everything, but he's a bit of a doddering old man at this point. Like, he's lost touch with, you know, I mean.
Oh, he probably don't even know what's going on with him.
Generations move on. I mean, you know, and that's not to take anything away from Stan Lee.
I just feel, look, as much as I love Marvel Comics is my love.
Great guy, yeah.
Comics. He's a great guy. I met him actually, and I just feel that within the next, you'll start to see a decline. 2017. I think before 2020 there'll be no more comics.
I think the problem. I think this is what the problem is. They waited too long to start doing these films, and when they started doing them, they just flooded the market out to where people are going to get sick as fuck of watching superhero films.
But it's not, you know, the movies and the comics are different. You're making the movies fun, but don't make the where you get the source material. But shit.
People are they're going to see the movie though. They don't give a shit about the comic book. I'm saying like
but they're making the comics like shit now.
Like if James Cameron had done Spider-Man, let's say in '92 or '93. Or did the X-Men or something, I think that maybe history would have played out a little bit differently, and comics might have gotten into a different sort of placement in historical context to where they're more relevant than they are now, the way things have played out. So
I think right now the way it's going, Phase 3 is going to be it because of Marvel, because people are, you know, there's not going to be a Phase 4, and if there is Phase 4, it's going to be a lot less movies.
Well, I mean, look at the sci-fi craze. You know, like in the 40s, after like the original Universal monster films, the big craze for like 10 years were damn outer space alien radar and blaster movies, and then it became passé within like that decade.
Because it's a trend now.
They're all adapting all these sci-fi, you know, rocket ship, you know, radar blaster type alien films, and people just got tired of it because it just became like old school. Like
but now, people are starving. People are starving for space stuff. That's why Guardians of the Galaxy, another reason why Guardians of the Galaxy took off, because it was something other than Star Trek and Star Wars.
Well, it was a good movie.
I know. It was a great movie. And now you're going to have aliens come back. You're going to have predators come back. You're going to start doing all kinds of space movies. They're going to flood the market within the next 3 years of space movies. And it's about damn time. Same thing like...
The Martian looks good, that film.
That looks fantastic, yeah.
What's Ridley Scott's doing.
And I think the horror thing, too, is coming back, which I just don't want them to ruin it. I mean, Jason... Halloween, Michael Myers, they're all just about come back except for Freddy. Freddy, they give him a break. But
well, we talked about last night, they need to GPS Jason's ass where they can keep up with him. And
they give him a hockey mask with that. I mean, listen, you got to do different stuff. You can't just have, like, him go kill everybody in the same setting. If it's in Crystal Lake, why can't you do, like, Winter? Why can't you do something like that? Why can't you do, like, like, same thing like Walking Dead, all right? You're going to have Walking Dead, why don't you have a tornado? Or a hurricane where they have to deal with that nonsense, or they have to fight the walkers in horrible weather conditions, something like that.
Well, I heard you say something about Jason in the snow, and I thought that was kind of a neat sort of idea, like a new gimmick to work with that. But like, how many times can you keep Crystal Lake open?
No, but you know what I would do now?
Down instead of like just nuking it, because I mean, obviously, if every year that goes by. Jason's dead. Oh, wait, no, he's not. And then, okay, well, Jason's dead now. Oh, wait, no, he's not.
The way you could write it off is that the town knows they can't stop him from coming back. So in all the schools all the stuff, they train their generation to always train to fight Jason and weapons and stuff.
But they would just move. Why would they bother with that? They would move. Why don't they just blow Jason up? I mean, he can't be
people are stubborn.
Blow him up.
People are stubborn. It's like freedom. They want their freedom, so they don't want to have to move away. They want to stay where they're at, and he's got to go away.
Listen, if there's like a homicidal maniac, if you're living in Haddonfield and like Michael Myers is walking around, you're going to move. You're not living there.
Well, some people would. Some people would just be that old guy that be warning them, there's a death curse.
Yeah, that's Walt Gorney's the actor. It's, damn it, what's that guy's name?
Yeah, he was in 2 of them.
What's Walt Gorney's the actor? I'm trying to think of Crazy Ralph. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a death curse.
Death curse. Yeah.
That's great.
That. And then he gets like I think he gets choked out.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah.
And if you notice it, if you're watching it, there's a blooper there with his death because Jason actually throws it over the tree like this.
Yeah.
To choke him. But the thing is, if you see he's standing up against a tree that's like 30 feet tall, you wouldn't be able to do that,
Correct.
to throw it over that. So if you watch it, the way it's edited is really bad.
It's like, how could you do that? Yeah, right. That's funny. I didn't think of that actually.
And I like this bike with the little ringer on it, ring ring. When he's telling them they're all doomed and cursing him, and then he starts riding off, and you hear that little ring 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 ring.
Yeah, the little thing. But like they did different things. Like Chucky reinvented itself with the last Chucky movie. It was phenomenal. And now we're gonna have a new Chucky soon. So I mean, I want to see how they're gonna do the Halloween. And I guess Daniel Harris is back again, but in this original timeline, I guess. I don't know how they will phrase that. It's gonna be the original Halloween 2 sequel. So she's just going to play another character, Daniel Harris.
Huh.
So, I guess because if when we had 4, she was technically the daughter of Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis got into a car accident with a guy and they supposedly died, but they showed in H2O that they didn't die. They actually lived and they faked their death or something. But in that thing, she left her daughter behind and they changed her name and she was with the Strodes and whatever and. That's what Halloween 4, 5, and 6 was about, but Halloween 6 was kind of weird. So, with genetics and weird chemicals and...
Oh, yeah. I'm a huge Halloween fan. Not the Rob Zombie films at all, the original series.
Yeah.
Especially the first 3 films.
Right.
Huge, huge Halloween fan since I was...
And I love Bates Motel now, because what I really want is... After they finished, they got greenlit for 2 more seasons, right? Where at the end of the last episode, it's just going to be him killing everybody in the Bates Motel.
I've got some bad. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was reading some news here. I got some bad news to report. James Horner, the film composer, apparently died in a plane crash.
Uh,
They're saying that
that actually happened. You were talking to me about that off air. That it might have happened.
Yeah, it said the pilot died after a small plane crash north of Santa Barbara Monday. Horner's lawyer told this news outlet no one has heard from Horner since the crash, so that's not a good sign, and it's registered to him. And they're saying presumed dead as they're reporting it. But yeah, James Horner is one of the big film composers, like John Williams. He's been around. Right. He's a big name with a lot of films. So.
Well, we don't know if he's definitely dead, though.
They're saying presumed. So yeah, I mean, there's still I guess a choice. Yeah.
I hope he's okay. I hope they find him. Where exactly did he crash?
It said Santa Barbara, if I remember correctly, somewhere around there, California. So.
Wow.
I guess he's known for his score to Titanic about a ship sinking. So.
That's crazy.
I guess a plane going down is kind of in that similar vein, which is still tragic, but
yeah.
there was still a joke to be made there. So.
What's up, Kana?
I had to make a tasteless joke.
Kana?
Yes.
No,
that's Counter D, man. That's what I call it.
Oh yeah, Counter D. Yeah.
In case you're trying to figure that, for those of you viewers who are trying to figure out what we're talking about, there was this person called Counter D. I'm saying it fast because I don't want it to come out as a curse word. That was saying a lot of nasty stuff on the comments. So.
Oh my God! No, they weren't. They were happy to see us back. That's what.
Yeah.
That's what it was. No, that wasn't hate, and that was fun.
They were ecstatic.
It was great.
Ecstatic to have you back. Where is Steve Star Racing?
Oh, who knows?
Maybe he built in the big ditch.
He had a shitty experience at E3 apparently, the convention.
He lost his camera, or he got it stolen or something.
Yeah, and he was whining and complaining about how E3 sucked and all this other shit. When last I heard,
it was fantastic.
He was freeloading it. He didn't have to pay, so it's like, how the fuck's he complaining about something he got for free?
I mean, I from what I've seen of it, and Connor watched it too, right, Connor? I mean, I thought it was great. I thought, right? Or
yeah, it was. Well, it was pretty good. Yeah,
I'm pretty happy. I mean, Final Fantasy VII, I'm all for that. I mean,
shit.
Yeah, I mean.
He lost his camera, scratched his eyeglasses. He's all fucked up. Got all this shit going on.
I hope he does okay. I hope he's gonna get back on track with things and be a chaos generator and be all right. So good. We have any news, Connor?
I've just read out.
Like deja vu hearing that.
Yeah, that brought back memories. Yeah, I've
come on, Connor. Computer question time.
Yeah. Gee, yeah.
They actually asked that on the Every Who show. They're like, what? Like it was a serious question. Like, what's gonna happen now? Like, who's gonna do the news? And I'm like, everybody does the news. What are you talking about? Chris does the news. Connor does the news. David does the news.
Well, we all do. I mean this in a good way. David's a talker, so he'll talk whether he's doing the news or not. So. But
that's good because then I talk less.
I mean.
And people love that.
Well, yeah, you're not talking over everyone now, so that's good. we don't have to go, Joe, shut the fuck up. We're trying to talk. Huh?
I'm just like, yeah, no, that's good. It's good. I say my voice. So, there we go.
And Hunter D would be pleased to hear that, too.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and also, I do have to ask him if he has a recommendation for a pillow big enough for my big fat head, that I'd like him to leave it in the comment section.
That was the funniest thing. I was like, what the hell are they talking about?
And actually, I've got 2 pillows and a body pillow, so that's kind of how I roll with it.
I guess we missed the big streamlined event tonight. There was a massive Independence Day live streamed event tonight, and I don't know what happened on it. Maybe they had a trailer, with the cast and crew at Jeff Goldblum, I guess, and tonight. So maybe we'll find out about after the podcast what that was about. Again, Independence Day is got everybody in it, even people that died, like Brett Spiner, with the exception of Will Smith. I mean, Will Smith is the only one that's not in the movie, and Randy Quaid supposedly. So, and they're going ahead with Independence Day 2, 3, and 4. They're making this a big to-do. So they're doing.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Well.
I mean, you know how that is. They're going to announce all this shit, and that doesn't mean anything.
Well, they announced Fantastic Four too, but I doubt that will happen. So, you know.
I've got to tell you, James Horner, I was trying to remember why I know his name so well with one specific film, and now I just looked at it. It's Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, which is a very, very...
Oh, my God! I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Holy... He did the music, the score for that?
And Avatar.
Oh, my... I actually taped that and played that in my car.
Yeah,
I used to be driving. Well, I would have the CD too, and I would be driving in my car, and I'd be blasting. And I'm like, people are like, what the hell? And I'm like blasting it, like as I'm going to work, I'm going to another state, and I'm like blasting it like it was like a freaking movie.
He did a great job of because if you remember, like the main title theme in the first film was Jerry Goldsmith, and it was taken later and used for the Next Generation intro to that series. But
right.
Horner reworked the original theme of Roddenberry's original TV series and made it like a real blaring trumpets and all sorts of drama inflected into it. And that whole soundtrack, when I think of The Wrath of Khan, one of the things that sticks out to me is I can actually match scenes in my head to some of the music. And it's got that real menacing sort of vibe with the Khan stuff that goes on.
Right.
You know that.
Now, did he do any other Star Trek besides Wrath of Khan and Next Generation stuff? Did he do like First Contact or something with Next Generation? I don't know. Who did that actually? That was phenomenal.
I know Goldsmith was tied to that.
That was a phenomenal soundtrack too.
Well, I mean, it's a bunch of movies we've all heard of here. He started with some of the Roger Corman stuff, and he got into he did Aliens.
Wow.
And that's
Karate
a very
Kid?
Yeah, Aliens is really well known. That sound film, Field of Dreams.
Oh my God! He did all the major movies. Perfect Storm, American Tail.
Yeah.
Mighty Joe Young, Mask of Zorro, Deep Impact, Titanic, Jumanji, Apollo 13, Casper.
Looks like he handled the Tom Clancy films. And Braveheart, Apollo 13, Jumanji.
Without a Face, Patriot Games.
Yeah.
The Rocketeer.
Not to be confused with Hunter D, the man without a dick.
Another 48 Hours. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Cocoon, The Return. Look at that. Oh my God. Captain EO. Jeez. Cocoon, the original. Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan.
So he did 2 and 3.
Wolf. Yeah. Krull.
Oh, you remember that?
You know?
The guy had the boomerang with the blades on it that he would throw.
I love that too. There was a video game on that, I think.
I saw that in the theater.
I think I had that.
Third grade.
I think I had the video game for that too.
With some shitty Atari version?
I think so. I think it was I think that was. What was his last thing that he did though? Do you know?
I didn't follow him that closely, but
he did The Amazing Spider-Man.
He's scheduled to be doing Avatar, I guess the rest of the Avatar series, but that ain't going to happen, I guess. He did The Amazing Spider-Man.
The last thing he did was Southpaw, the new...
Avatar. Anton Fuqua film.
The new Jake Gyllenhaal film.
Yeah, the boxing film.
Yeah, that's the last thing he
good.
did. On the cusp of coming out, I believe, actually, in cinemas.
We got an echo, right?
I don't know, I can't hear anything.
Do I?
Yeah, I think so.
Shit.
No. McGregor is talking about Star Wars and Train Spot.
Yeah, I just saw
Trainspotting's great.
I just watched that recently, about a month ago.
The music in that is perfect. I mean, it's just classic.
Is there less echo, like when I mute myself?
Let me say hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, mute. Okay, yeah.
I'll take myself off and interject. Like,
well, I mean, we may end this
otherwise,
actually soon, I guess. So maybe we'll just do that.
Well,
We'll
it's
do it
only
more
a
fair.
tiny faint echo, so it's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wolverine's going to appear in an Apocalypse one. And then the last movie he's going to do, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine 3. So he's done. What else do we have? Oh, and Jurassic World being the house. That's pretty cool.
Still haven't seen it.
Oh, you got to see it.
Maybe they're gonna have that on the cruise, like they played Guardians of the Galaxy when we went last year.
That would be good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sitting out like you're out in the open air, like the moonlight, out by the pool on 30-foot projection screen. Them playing the
I need
film.
a vacation too. I need a vacation soon. Definitely.
Get your ass
Hannibal's
on.
been cancelled for anyone who's a fan of Hannibal.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but I did.
tell me about that.
Yeah, it's like after 3 seasons, it's been cancelled. Obviously, I know it most for having Mads Mikkelsen in, who is obviously famous for playing the Chief.
Yeah, I know. Are you pissed that it's canceled, or do you think it could have kept going?
I have a few friends that are fans of it. I've never personally watched it myself. I have seen Silence of the Lambs.
Right.
Obviously, it's a classic film. But I haven't watched the prequel, which is Hannibal, so I'm not entirely clued on the series itself. But it seems like it was quite a big viewership. A bit shocking.
Yeah.
And I think they were the same. Isn't that the same NBC that canceled Constantine a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, that's suck. I do that shit. You know,
Yeah, NBC's just kind of like, unless they know they got a hit,
Okay.
see ya, bye. Get
Fuck
the
that.
fuck out.
Yeah, they don't even wait. I was upset they canceled Selfie with Karen Gillan. I mean, a lot of
It
people
didn't really take off, I don't think.
It took off in the beginning. It did great, and then I guess I don't think they really gave it a chance. You know, they should have just. Half these things that they get picked up, and you're like, why did that get picked up? You know.
Yeah.
So.
Selfie. Was Selfie any good? That just seemed kind of.
I mean, I saw some stuff I liked. You know. All right, gang. I think we're gonna go for now. We may come back with another one. Take care. Bye for now.